Did I miss Juneteenth? Yesterday was June. How did I miss that, Stu?
I don't know. It was, we've already taken our tree down.
I haven't even put mine up yet.
Oh my gosh.
It's already down. My gosh.
It didn't seem like it's that important to you at all.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's one that I've known since I was a kid. Ever since I was a little kid, we were like, why isn't Juneteenth a national holiday? You know, the thing I like about Juneteenth is that, I mean, usually it takes us about 100 years before we forget why we have a holiday. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, it's President's Day. I don't remember any of the presidents, so it doesn't matter. But, as I was a kid, it took us about, I don't know, maybe a couple 100 years to forget the meaning of that one. Labor Day, Memorial Day, we pretty much forget about that one. The great thing about Juneteenth is we never really knew what it was about in the first place. So we just cut right to the ending. Oh, it's a holiday. We can, I don't know. You want to get together, have some hot dogs or something?
I hate this, though. Juneteenth is actually should be a really cool holiday. Like, I'd much rather celebrate Juneteenth than President's Day. Screw the presidents. Most of them screwed all this up anyway. Juneteenth.
Well, first of all, it was only two presidents. It was Lincoln and Washington. No, but it wasn't supposed to be.
Yes, it's McKinley. That's who we're really celebrating. Juneteenth is a perfect reminder to everyone that we face the possibility of severe government oppression, and we have overcome it in the past. This is a reminder that government oppression ended. That is what Juneteenth is. It's something that conservatives should love, but they've turned it into this like woke, an additional day of Pride Month.
No, I have to tell you, I already celebrate that on Independence Day.
No, I don't mind more than one day to celebrate that concept. People need to remember that government oppression sucks, including, by the way, our own country. It's not all about outside forces.
Yeah. Do you need to have another holiday and 30% off patio furniture for the weekend to celebrate that?
First of all, after going through 4 years of Joe Biden, yes, we do need another day with 30% off of items.
Nobody knows what Juneteenth even was. You never heard of it. You never heard of it.
Never.
And now we've got freedom walks breaking out all over the... I've got a freedom walk. I've got a 5K freedom walk this weekend. And, it's great. We just gave everybody the day off. That's all that is.
Who got the day? I keep hearing people say, because I'm with you on that. We have too many days. Were banks off? Maybe they were. I didn't go to the bank yesterday, so I suppose it could have been closed. But I didn't notice any difference. I went to a decent amount of businesses yesterday. All of them were open. They all seem. And by the way, this is in Texas, where there actually is a history with Juneteenth. Like, it actually was a thing here long before America picked it up.
In Texas,
right.
It is a great holiday.
Yeah.
In Texas, it's great because it's a Texas thing. Since when does the left ever go, you know what? This is a really good thing that Texas has done. When?
Yeah.
When? It's like Ramahama Kwanzmas. That's all that is. That's all that is. But now it's on our calendars. I had to survive 12 years of school without ever hearing about. How did I do it? How did I do it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how I became a decent human being that knows history and knows about slavery and who actually was for slavery and who wasn't. Who was actually in the Klan and who wasn't? Which political party started the Klan? Which was the political party that was in charge of Texas for Juneteenth? I know all of that. But hey, I got to get some patio furniture, and some barbecue. We got to have some barbecue this weekend for Juneteenth. I probably wouldn't have a problem if not everything had been turned into some sort of a "you will comply." I can't take it. And I think the rest of America is like that. Listen to this one from Bloomberg. Spokesperson for the group Heritage of Pride confirmed that 25% of their corporate sponsors had either pulled out of sponsoring New York City's Pride Parade or reduced contributions, leaving organizers scrambling to replace those funds. The vast majority of what we have heard is folks are treading carefully from economic perspective. Yeah, that's probably, a good portion of it. But also, I think companies are kind of like, you know what? I think you kind of went over the line and the American people are about to turn on all of this. I have a feeling that might play a role. Some mention that they have a fear of potential blowback from the Trump administration. If you're a big corporation and you're publicly supporting DEI initiatives. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Now you know what it feels like when you're afraid of the government, huh? Maybe we should reduce the size of the government so nobody is afraid of the government. No, that's crazy. We've got to get another person in there who can control absolutely everything. The way we agree. Oh, okay. All right, good. Meanwhile, you have actress Cynthia Nixon. Wasn't she in the, what was that stupid show called, with the Sex in the City?
Yeah. Ran for governor at one point, I think, or mayor, something like that in New York.
Yeah, she did. Isn't it crazy that, let me see here. Hang on just a second. What was the guy's name? That Zoran what is his name? Mondani?
Yeah.
Zoran Mondani could be in the lead position or at least a close second in the New York City race. And Cynthia Nixon is like, yeah, I'm not interested in any of that. But Zoran Mamadi, Zoran, isn't that seriously, wasn't that one of the bad guys in the jungle or something in, a Robin Williams movie at some point where the jungle game was played? Wasn't that the name of that game?
I think you might be thinking of Zoran Industries, which was a bad guy in A View to a Kill. The Bond movie, which I love to reference. They tried to take out
Silicon Valley. Tried to take out Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Again, we should revisit that plot. It was. I think it would improve things.
So anyway, Cynthia Nixon, she is very upset. She said her trans son, a.k.a. a girl, who is, I don't know why this is part of the story, who is an observant Jew, is currently on a hunger strike in Chicago to support Gaza. So let me see. Let's see if I have this right. Let's see if they can make this any more confusing. A girl who claims to be a boy, who also is an observant Jew, is standing up for the people killing the Jews. That makes sense. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. This is crazy. Okay, now, the Democrats, again, they're having a hard time raising funds. The Democrats are having a really hard time. They've doubled down now on the sex changes for minors. Okay, you're 12, and Chuck Schumer wants to make sure that you can cut your breast off or your pee-pee off. Because that's your right. As a 12-year-old, that's your right. No, you can't own a gun. No, you can't have liquor. No, you can't vote. No, you can't have sex with who you choose. But you can cut your penis off. That's not a problem at all. Today, the Supreme Court chose to abandon trans children in America. That's what we did. I don't know if you noticed that. We took a bus out. We got all the trans children, including Cynthia Nixon's son or daughter, or I don't remember, Jew, Hamas member, I don't know. But we rounded them all up. We put them on a bus, and then we just abandoned them in the middle of the desert. That's what we did. Because we think that's much more compassionate. Upholding the Tennessee ban on medical care for trans kids is just heartless. It is a sad, sad day. One of us is wrong. I'm not sure who it is, but Chuck, I think one of us is out of touch with reality. I mean, I know you really want to kill kids before they're born. or even just kill them while they're being born. I know that's a really big thing with you guys. I think it's wrong. I think you're on the wrong side on that one. But, I mean, what do you do with kids? They won't let us kill them. Can't we just mutilate them? No. And then in some really, really, really sad and shocking news, Mrs. Obama hates being called Mrs. Obama. I didn't see that one coming. But that's apparently a big story because of what else she says. Give me a minute, and we'll come back to that. Now, let me tell you about moving. When it comes time for you to move, whether it is, whether it's just okay, can somebody tell me why my commercials are all wrong today, Sarah, please? Can we figure out what's happening? Thank you. I've started this commercial twice now. Let's do it all day. Okay. What is this? What is the sponsor this time? It's Leaf Filter. Okay. Well, I love leaves. I just don't like them in my gutters. So let me tell you about Leaf Filter. Gutters are not there for decoration, apparently. I know, it surprised me when I found that out. I'm like, they're just so pretty. I just like them. And then they got the leaves in them and all the colors. It's just great. Actually, a critical part of your home's defense system, diverting water away from your roof, your walls, your foundation. And when they clog, they fail. And when they fail, the repairs get expensive very, very fast. That's why I want you to consider getting Leaf Filter. Their micro mesh gutter protection system fits right into your existing gutters and keeps out leaves and debris and pine needles and you name it. Once it's installed, you don't have to worry about hiring cleaners or climbing a ladder yourself. You don't have to worry about the rotting, boards on your house, the ice dams or the compromised foundation. Yeah, I know. I like to worry about those things, but I'm going to pass this time. Schedule your free inspection and get 30% off your entire purchase at Leaf Filter, LEAF filter.com/Glenn. That's leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. Sorry, Glenn Beck is the added to that. Leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. See representative for warranty details. 10 seconds, station ID. I'm sorry. I'm just a little discombobulated today. I was just out partying all night for Juneteenth. It was nuts here. It was nuts. Or not. It's like I thought it was today. No, it was yesterday.
Missed the whole thing.
Darn it. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one in America, I'm sure, that has just missed this one. Hello, Stu. How are you?
I'm well, Glenn. Let me ask you a question about all this, though. Are
Sure.
you annoyed that the left takes control of these things? Like, are we just supposed to, like, this was not a left-wing holiday, and now all of a sudden it is. You mentioned, you've done a show on this before. The other one that pops to mind from this front is the Black National Anthem. And I remember you doing shows about how great this thing was, and then the left decided, well, it's ours. And actually, it's a sign of wokeness or something. And that wasn't the history of it, right?
No, it was actually written by a Republican as a poem. And then as a birthday present, his Republican brother set it to music. And a bunch of black Republicans got together to sing it to him for his first time for his birthday. Everyone in the room, Republicans. And it's a great thought. It is really a beautiful, beautiful song. But then it just was turned into something, this Democrat. They were the people that were trying to kill the black people or enslave them. And now they're like, yeah, that's our song. That's us. That's our song. The Democrats come out like, we got to celebrate Juneteenth. Why? Because you delayed the slaves from knowing they were free for 2 years? Is that the part you're celebrating? Just a wink and a nod like, yeah, and we wrote the Black National Anthem too. Shh, don't tell anybody. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I find that entire process annoying and quite repetitive. It seems like whenever there's something out there that's you've done, how many shows have you done on when you were doing the Black Founders? for example. All these people that are American heroes that were not symbols of wokeness get taken and turned into that. And then we're all supposed to like fall into line and say, oh, gosh, well, whatever the current thing the left has decided is theirs, we're now supposed to oppose, even though that wasn't the way any of this stuff happened originally. And I hate that. I hate that transition process. That's another transition I oppose.
Wait, you're saying we shouldn't be able to cut and mutilate our history?
Yes.
Just because it thinks it's something that it's not?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like we let a lot of that stuff go sometimes because it's just like, I don't really feel like learning the history of the Black National Anthem. That's like, hours of Glenn Beck I need to watch. Forget it. And so we're just like, I'll just oppose it. And I get it. There's enough of this crap going around. But I mean, some of these stories behind these events are great lessons that our country should embrace. And
tell me the story of Juneteenth. Just to put you on the spot. Tell me the story without taking your eyes from the camera lens and looking down. Tell me the story of Juneteenth.
I mean, I'm not a Juneteenth historian, but like
no. Let's see how close you can get.
Here's what I find important about Juneteenth. There is a program that the government.
That's not the question. Stu, what do you find important about Juneteenth?
It's what I take from it.
Here's what I'm asking. Here's what I'm saying. You are 1,000 times more informed than anybody else in the listening audience. The average Joe on Juneteenth. Okay, you probably are 10,000 times more educated on this. Tell me the story.
The slavery ended. It took a long time. We didn't have the internet. We couldn't tweet to people that it was all over. And there's a bunch of people still working as slaves in Texas that didn't get the message. So we had to go tell them about it. And it was like, to me, the official end of slavery. It was over. The government no longer took your life away and forced you into labor. We should
Thank you, chat, Stu.
I was looking at you the whole time. I mean, that is as deep as I could go on it, but I didn't know that much.
That's really good. That's better than almost anybody else could do. Okay, let me see. Let me play the commercial roulette right now and see. LifeLock is right. Thank you, LifeLock. Your identity is you. It used to be something that could protect you, and it was important, and you could protect it by locking things up in a file cabinet. But now it's out there, it's everywhere. Every time you shop online, sign up for something, even use Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, you're leaving pieces of you. Oh, that's a song, Pieces of You. Somebody get onto AI and come up with a great country song, Pieces of You left all over the coffee shop. Anyway, it's all out in the open. Cyber criminals have it, and all they have to do is put pieces together and turn them into a key that unlocks your whole financial life. This is a song. Somebody's got to write this song, and then cyber criminals come and put all those pieces together. Anyway, Pieces of You, it's LifeLock. Your identity deserves the same protection as your front door. Protect yourself with LifeLock now. Join now and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Call 1-800-LifeLock, 1-800-LifeLock, or head to lifelock.com. Promo code BECK, save 40%.
Done. Head over to glennbeck.com. Sign up for the free email newsletter. Get every story we talk about every day.
I'm used to a higher quality, a higher caliber of listener, quite honestly. I asked 2 whole minutes ago for somebody to write some country lyrics based on that commercial I was doing where I mentioned Pieces of You. And I got a bunch of lyrics, but it took 2 whole minutes. And they're not sung. None of this is sung. I mean, You can't put it through the, GPT and, I don't know, set it to music? You're just going to send me the lyrics? All right, whatever. Well, let me just give you the lyrics then. Your old guitar is still leaning in the hall, strung with pieces of you. I can't forget it all. The worn-out pick you left on the bedside stand holds pieces of you like the callus on my hand. This is bad. This old porch swings with the weight of your ghost, every creaking memory I'm missing the most. I'm holding on to pieces of you, breaking up in my heart, shattered like the rear view on your Chevy in the yard. That doesn't really work. Every faded chord, every dream you used to chase carries pictures of you I can't bear to erase. Yeah, I'm living with pieces of you. We are going to be fat imbeciles soon. I mean, we already are. We're going to be fatter and more imbecilic soon. Everything is, it's crazy what AI can do now.
Did you hear the study that they did on essays of like students writing essays? They had 3 groups of students and they had them write essays with like brain activity monitors on them. And one group had to write it just like, old school. One group could use Google, and then one group could use ChatGPT for assistance. And almost no brain activity at all in the ChatGPT group by like the 3rd series of essays. They just had totally turned over their entire thinking process to ChatGPT. And the Idiocracy thing, they didn't use ChatGPT or anything similar to build that future, but it's a central part of that story, I think, that we missed in the prequel of that movie.
So amazing. So amazing. But don't worry, it's just right around the corner. Did you see what Amazon said? Amazon's like, yeah, we're going to be replacing all the people here soon. It's like, wait, what?
Not a huge surprise.
We need you to move closer to your team so you can all be together, so we can then liquidate you when the machines arrive.
I think it's the same message they sent to Iranian leaders in Israel. Like, we need you guys to all move closer together. Did you see?
It's a trap.
They said. There's another new study out on AI that said that Republicans are using it more. Now, I don't know what that says about us, that it was just saying there's no brain activity, so I'm not trying to insult conservatives. But I thought that was interesting in that I feel like usually conservatives are slower to adopt like brand new technologies like that. And it seems like we are using GPT
I think
more.
We're more entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And it if you use it as a tool, it is remarkable what it can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not actually here. This is just a large language, program.
In your case, very large. It's an OLM. It's an overweight language model.
Oh, man. All right, let me change the subject. Let me go to former First Lady Michelle Obama. Now, I just want you to put yourself in Barack's shoes for a minute. They're the ones right underneath Jennifer Aniston's bed. Just try those on for a minute. And how would you feel if your wife said these words? Thank you so much. He said in an interview, thank you so much, Mrs. Obama. And she said, oh, Mrs. Obama, that's too many syllables. Now, my logical question there would be, do you have a rule that you generally go with on the number of syllables in people's names? Or what is the too many syllables in Mrs. Obama? Oh, okay. She said, I was trying to, I'm just Michelle. I'm not Mrs. Obama. And I was trying to do that when I was First Lady, because I just think I'm not in that position. I'm just Michelle. Well, technically, in the eyes of God and the state of Illinois, I think you are in that position. Isn't that what happens when you get married? I mean, you might want to call yourself, I don't know, whatever your last name was before you got married. Maybe you could say that, but like she's saying, I'm not in that position. I don't like to remember that I'm married. I mean, wouldn't that be a problem if you were married to Michelle Obama? Or your wife came to you, Stu, and people were like, Mrs. Stu is here now, and she said, "Oh, I do not want to be called Mrs. Stu because I am not in that position."
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be a little like concerned? Wouldn't you pull her aside after and go, "What exactly did you mean by that?"
Yeah. It seemed like a deeper conversation is necessary because it's not even like, oh, that's too formal, right? Like somebody might say that, right? Or like you hear people say, Mr. Beck, and it's like, oh, well, that's actually my father. I'm Glenn. That kind of typical thing. That's not what she's going for when she says, I'm not in that position. Like,
yeah, she's not the first lady.
Right, wasn't first lady
in
Obama.
That position.
Right.
It was Mrs. Obama. Okay. Then in the same interview, she goes on and she says, the interviewer was like, you guys should have thrown a boy in there in your family. Wish you had a boy. And she said, "Oh, I am glad we didn't have a son because he would have turned out exactly like Barack."
Wait, what?
I don't think these are rumors anymore about their marriage. That would have been, and then the interviewer said, "Baby Barack, that would have been amazing." And she said, "No, I would have felt for him." I mean, I have four children. 3 of them are girls, and I love the fact that they're so much like their mom. I mean, I love that. Now, we didn't want to have a son because he would have been just like Glenn. Wait, honey. I mean, I kind of agree with you, but I'd like a little more information on what you mean by that.
Yeah, because I could see saying something like that in a self-deprecating way. Maybe you could say, like, look, I'm concerned of all the media attention or that he be held to some standard to follow a former president. Like, I don't know. Maybe did she explain it at all, or did she just kind of leave it at that? I just don't want to be like him.
I don't want to be like him. And don't you ever say I'm in the position of being married to that bastard. She's Big Mike for a reason.
Do you believe the Jennifer Aniston thing? Is any part of you that buys that?
I buy that a little. Just a little more than the Big Mike thing. But there are days that I go back and forth. I'm like, I don't know. I think she's more Big Mike than the odds. The odds are more in favor that she's Big Mike.
That's a difficult standard we're measuring there, and maybe you could literally measure it. I don't know,
right?
But I will say I'm saying, like, do you actually believe that Barack Obama is having an affair with Jennifer Aniston? Is there
yeah? I think there's a good chance of that.
When you say good chance? Are you saying 10%? You're saying 60?
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not Las Vegas. I don't know what the odds are, but I think over 50%. I think that's reasonable.
Over 50%. Is it just
the only thing that would stop that from being true, I think, is if she were attracted to him. Is she attracted to him? Has she ever said anything about him?
So you think he's in? He's in. The marriage.
She's hot. And if you've been married to Big Mike your whole time, it's like, hey, get off me. I would go for Phoebe. At that point, I mean, be like, whatever. I mean, is Matt LeBlanc available?
Wait, so I am, as you know, I do like numbers and stats and odds. So give me your the percentage chance that there are real relationship problems in that marriage.
90%.
Okay, you're convinced of that, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say 100%, but I do, I'm not there. but I can read the tea leaves a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Chances that he is involved with someone else, not
someone from the Friends
not
cast.
necessarily Matt LeBlanc.
All right, could be anybody.
Anybody, any other human being. Is he involved?
I'd say 95%.
Wait, didn't he say? Wait, so wait, didn't you say 90% for the relationship problem? So you think there's a 5% chance he's got a good relationship, but also cheating?
Get off me comes to mind a lot.
Well, I guess it could be an open relationship too, right? Like maybe they have a wonderful relationship, and she's just allowing him. Okay,
yeah, she is. She's like, get off me. Get on to anything else but me.
Okay, and then what do you believe the percentage chances are that it is specifically Jennifer Aniston he is having an affair with?
50%.
50%. And you're basing that just on smoke and fire? Like we've heard an odd amount of reporting about it.
She's hot. Okay, if he's not gay, then it's at least 50% because she's hot.
But like, why do we believe her? Because there's just been like some like tabloid reporting.
We don't believe her. No, we don't believe her. I don't believe her. I don't. No, I just look at him and I look at her and I'm like, he was this big Mike.
Well, but
she comes sauntering into the room and like, I don't know, I might be into it. Barack, he's going for it.
Right, but that's a different. Like, if I said Scarlett Johansson, you could also say he'd also be interested in it. But, like, why do you believe it's her?
Why don't you give me the odds of... give me... What are the odds of Scarlett Johansson? About 50%.
You think there's...
What are the odds of Barack
there's a
with
chance...
anyone?
No, I'm not saying...
Anyone. 50%.
No. So you're saying you think there's a 50% chance that Barack Obama is hooking up with every attractive celebrity?
Not every... Any. And you don't have to say attractive.
Okay.
I'm glad you left it at celebrity, though, because that goes either way. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right.
50%.
Okay. You've laid it out.
That's reasonable.
I'm not sure I understand exactly, because I feel like there is this like bizarre underbrush fire with giving us a little smoke in the forest. That just, it's always her. And like, I don't know if there's any evidence of this, but like when you see a bunch of stories and people keep writing about the same thing over and over and over and over again in like tabloids and rumors, you start to wonder, is there actually something here? Do we just wake up one day and they just announce a divorce and he's just hanging out on red carpets with Jennifer Aniston?
I would just like to say, this is more time than I have spent thinking about those two for my entire life, okay? And it's more time. We've now spent more time than I care to think about them anymore.
Can we go back to the tape and see who brought up this story twice? Is there a way to... do we have recordings of this program?
I was rudely interrupted.
Who introduced this story to the program twice today? Two different times.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say I wasn't the one bringing it up, but I just want you to know, it's like... Why do you believe? I don't know. I haven't thought about this at all. It's not that important. All right, just a second. Let me tell you about Clear Capital. We live in a time of uncertainty. Markets swing back and forth all the time. Politicians spend like it's going out of style. Banks fail at the drop of a hat, and the dollar's value shrinks daily. Through all of it, one thing never gets lost, and that is the value of gold. Gold has been steady throughout the history of civilization, and it's going to stay steady. And Lear Capital makes sure it's easy to put gold and silver into your retirement strategy or just to simply own physical precious metals outright. They've been doing this for over 25 years, helping Americans diversify their savings, protect their future, and guard against the kind of economic shocks that wipe out paper assets. Their team will walk you through the process. No pressure, just expertise, options, and a lot of peace of mind. So, if you've been thinking about, my dollar is losing value rapidly, what am I going to live on after I retire? Because all of that money that I saved is going away rapidly. Call Lear Capital. Call them today. 800-957-GOLD. Get your free $4,200 gold report. And when you call 800-957-GOLD, ask them about getting up to $15,000 in free gold or silver with a qualifying purchase. Call 800-957-GOLD. 800-957-GOLD.
There you have it. The truth, stripped down like a fence post in a prairie storm. Glenn Beck returns after this.
I want you to think about something for just a moment. I want you to imagine your investments are like a vote for the future that you want to see. And you don't have to imagine that because it's kind of actually true. If you think about your investments, you've got proxy votes in these companies that you're investing in. And most of the time, people don't even think about where those votes go. Are your current investments truly aligned with the conservative values that you hold dear? Or is it something that you don't even know about one way or the other? Too often, standard portfolios quietly include companies working against conservative principles. That means you could unintentionally be supporting agendas and policies that are contrary to your beliefs. Constitution Wealth is here to shift this narrative. They do a great job. Their team carefully evaluates companies, ensuring that your investments actively reflect traditional American values. Through strategic investment choices and proactive shareholder advocacy, Constitution Wealth empowers you to confidently support businesses that uphold your conservative principles. Your financial decisions have a real impact, and you don't want to unintentionally support causes which you actively oppose in other areas of your life. Instead, make deliberate investment choices in companies that align closely with your beliefs. Let your investments clearly reflect your values and take control of the American economy today. ConstitutionWealth.com/Blaze. Get a free consultation today. It's ConstitutionWealth.com/Blaze. ConstitutionWealth.com/Blaze.
Okay. We have Jason Buttrill in the studio today. Give us one last update on, the end of the world. He's been just a little sunshine muffin all week. But just wanted to get an update on Iran. We haven't vaporized Iran or anything. They haven't vaporized anybody yet.
You're having so much fun, Glenn. Are you sure you want me to come in and do
not
this?
Really. Keep it short. Keep it short.
We've got about 20 global transports heading towards the Middle East right now. Some of them have already arrived. Who knows what they're carrying? Personnel, support equipment, munitions. They're definitely looking like they're pre-staging equipment in case this does start to spin.
Well, you also have people in the Straits and the Gulf.
Weird stuff happening.
And diesel fuel has already gone through the roof, which is logical. If you're worried about a war, diesel would be the first thing that you would try to stock up on. And apparently the world is trying to stock up on diesel.
This is Glenn Beck.